Guys, I think we just got to admit, yeah, the winger market is dead. It's dead, man. It's dead. I think so many people. We've been doing this thing since the beginning of the summer, especially during the World Cup, where we're looking at certain players and we're trying. Oh no, listen, this is all we can do. We're trying to see, yeah, can this player do this in my team, and that player is not worth this amount. This player is worth that amount, etc., etc. Right? I'm here to tell you that the winger market is dead. So I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it really matters what wingers you get in. I'm going to be honest. I feel like they are, barring like a few where there's probably slight differences in regards to maybe their overall level, they're all of the same level. They just do things differently. So whether you think player X is better than player Y, that's fine for whatever reason. Again, that is fine. But I'm telling you, they are all of the same level. They're all sitting in the same classes. They're all sitting in there's a couple maybe, who are in terms of like available wingers, right, for this summer. The rest of them, in terms of the top ones, they're already at the clubs. So the Kvaratskhelia, the Vinicius Juniors, Lamine Yamals of this kind of world, Elise's, these guys are already at the top clubs. So they're not moving from them clubs to go. Really and truly, it would just be the only one I could think of that would be, would I say, somewhat upgrading would be maybe Elise potentially to Real Madrid. And that's just because it's Real Madrid, right? Or if Kvaratskhelia decided to go Real Madrid or Barcelona, that would be the only two. The others, like everything else, is just they're at their clubs. So now when we're looking at wingers, it's not to say that they're shit or anything like that, but they're just average. They're just okay. He like what I'm seeing quite a lot online is that a lot of people are doing we're finding like one trait of this individual, right? We're finding one trait and we're saying this is why we need to sign this person. Every team I'm seeing it from, right? It's not even just from, say, Liverpool fan base or whatever. Every single team or fans from teams I'm seeing, oh, you got to sign this guy, he's quick. Oh, you got to sign this guy, he can dribble really good. Oh, you got to find this guy because he can get into space really well. Like, it's the one random trait that we are all thinking is going to somewhat help towards our club, right? And it's understandable to a certain degree, but I mean, in the same breath, everyone's then moaning about the prices of said players. I feel like at this moment in time, especially with the way that the transfer market is, it is what it is now. I promise you, it is what it is. So whether it's, I don't know, whether it's Minter at Brighton, right? Whatever Brighton, obviously I have no idea what Brighton would charge for Minter. I don't know what that value actually looks like, but whatever he's going to cost, it's just what he's going to cost. I'm going to be honest with you, like it is what it is. At this stage in time, Jarrod Bowen, at West Ham, I don't know. The team just got relegated. Or does that mean that we can get him for like cheaper? I have no idea. No idea. What's the massive differences between a Minter and a Jarrod Bowen? Let's just be honest. Like, we're not sitting here saying, oh, these guys are worlds apart from each other. Like, there really isn't that much difference. I'm not saying that you can't say one of them is better. Whichever one you think is better, cool. I believe that the one is better than the other. But I definitely don't sit here and think, yeah, this is, a Kvaratskhelia level to a Jarrod Bowen. There really isn't. So everybody else is kind of operating on the same kind of level. So when we're all talking about wingers and everyone's saying like the market is dead. Yeah, the market is 100% dead. Like, so does it matter who you sign? Liverpool just finished up signing freaking Victor Munoz. Are we really sitting here saying that Victor Munoz is of a high level? Like, no, he's not. He really, really isn't. He's not that good. Do you get what I'm saying? He's an average winger, like a real average winger. Guess what? He's got a trait though. He's got that pace, which again, I'm not saying that can't be utilized and potentially help your team. Like, not at all. He may come in and it may prove to be great. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But the market isn't, we're not blessed in today's football. We've said this so many different times. We've had myself and Savage, Jerry, we've had this conversation so many different times about like football in a general sense, in terms of the quality. And I've seen some people try to combat that with, oh, but look, you've got players like Elise. I'm like, yeah, obviously in every generation, you're going to have the star players, right? But it's then, I always look at, a generation not so much at its star players. I look at the other players in and around that, because for me that will be the biggest kind of determining factor as to how good this, say, era, for example, kind of is. And when you're, especially like, if we're specifically looking at the winger market, it's not that great. Again, we've seen the quoted prices, and I know obviously the market is obviously showing us like, yo, like, it's kind of crazy, right? Because you've got Elliot Anderson moving for, 116 million. You've got, Tonali going for close to, was it 100 million? Mateus Fernandez, obviously that's just midfielders. Then you're looking at the winger market, and obviously a winger that I really, really like is obviously Bradley Barcola. I would love to sign him. I think he's a really good player. How much is he going to cost you? Like over 100 million, to even try and negotiate with it with PSG. Whether they let him go, I have no idea, kind of thing. So, he's probably at the top end of that class of individuals. But again, he's got that trait. He is rapid. Reminds me of Salah, 17, 18, that kind of pace where you're just like, wow, that is absolutely ridiculous. Whether, I'm not even saying can he replicate or anything, it's not even really about that, because nobody knew that Salah would do what he did, right? So he could easily come in and replicate that, to some kind of degree. But it's just, when we're thinking about the market, they're really like, listen, I do a lot of scouting reports and stuff like that, and listen, in their own right, these players are good, right? In their own right, they've got something about them. Like I said, whether it's pace, whether it's the positioning, whether it's they can score goals, they get loads of assists, or whatever the case may be, right? And for certain teams, yeah, these players would be okay. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But this is why teams like PSG, even a Real Madrid, all these, like, those kind of teams like Bayern Munich, they're not really looking at, like, they're probably looking at wingers, of course they are, but I know they're going to struggle to find good wingers out there. Now you're trying to get a little bit creative in terms of the type of player that you're trying to, potentially sign, kind of thing. And I think that's just where we're at in today's market, in terms of the kind of players that are available, kind of thing. So when people are complaining about prices, when people are complaining about, how much their club may have to potentially spend on a player, honestly, guys, it is what it is, man. Like, we really can't complain that much, because that's just what the market is dictating at this moment in time for average players. It's telling you. And listen, by the way, the clubs who are doing this, yo, keep going. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, keep doing your thing. Like, no one's, like, you shouldn't feel that you should have to, sell your player at a very discounted rate. Look at West Ham, relegated to the Championship. They've just sold a player for 85 million pounds. Good on you. Good on you, West Ham. Like that. That's what clubs should be doing. Do you get what I'm saying? We're not back in that era where small clubs would, sell their player at this kind of discounted rate, and you're getting a bargain. No. If you feel that this player can come into your team and really help your team out, that's just what the market is dictating. As I mentioned before, the Yandy and Mondays of this world, is he worth that money? Of course not. He don't even probably think he's worth, do you know what I mean, that kind of money. But ultimately, he's worth that money to RB Leipzig. They understand that, listen, you're hot commodity right now, so we've got to maximize everything we possibly can to get as much as we can, whether that's from PSG, whether that's from Liverpool, or whoever else might be interested in him. Barcola, the same thing. PSG don't even need money. How about that? PSG don't even need money. They could sell him at any rate and it would make no difference to them. But guess what? They understand that the market is very, very scarce for good wingers out there. So guess what? We're going to sell you this winger, or if you want to sign this winger, guess what? You're going to have to pay the big bucks. So when we're all doing the moaning and stuff like that, and I've done it myself as well. I've done it. I did it with the Yandy Monday. I'm very happy that Liverpool haven't pursued that, and I'm hoping they don't pursue, that kind of deal. Because again, I don't see much difference between Yandy and Monday and Minter. I'm like, is there that much difference? Like, it's definitely not worlds apart. I'm not saying that yet Diamande doesn't have traits that are better than Minter or whatever. Again, there probably is. The stat nerds will be able to tell you all of that stuff. Great. But guess what? Watch them, and I promise you, there's not much difference in them. There really, really isn't. And then there's obviously a lot of context that's got to be applied to, to both sets of players. But just in a general sense, yeah, man, I just think you guys can drop below any player that you would love Liverpool to sign as a winger. I'm not arguing. I'm not debating. that if you want to sign this guy, whatever. Everybody was gassed on signing a Yan Monday. Watched one game in the World Cup and it was like, oh my goodness, we got to sign this guy. Now all of a sudden, when we saw that, he might be leaning more towards PSG, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he's not really worth the money, is he? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he was never worth the money. That wasn't the reason, he's just not that good of a player. Like I said, I can sign Minteh to do the exact same job. Whatever job he was going to do, Minteh's going to do the same thing. It ain't going to be that much different. I promise you. It's going to look different, but it's not going to be that different. And probably because he's just left-footed. Did you get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just one of those kind of things, man. Every club's going to be linked with so many different players. You've got players like Rafael Leao. You've got, I guess, Morgan Rogers, if you want to call him like a winger / attacking midfielder. He's obviously there. Bradley Barcola, as I mentioned before. Like they're maybe at the top end of things. But again, how many clubs are going to be able to, sign those kind of players? So everybody else is really just scrounging around and you just got to kind of make do with whatever you've got. So don't be surprised, especially Liverpool fans. Don't be surprised if you see Cody Gakpo still at Liverpool next season. Did you get what I'm saying? Because yeah, it's just crazy. And even trying to look at it from, let's say, specific positions. So let's say like the right wing market and the left wing market. If we just looked at them separately, when I think of it, I'm like, oh, right wing market. I feel like you just get anybody. I don't feel like it's going to make that much difference. When I say anybody, I'm not saying you just go get some guy from League One. Obviously, let's not be so naive. But you know what I mean? It's just that, yeah, I can go get someone to go and play that. Someone who's just of an adequate enough level, and then whatever from there. Because the players you really want right now, you can't sign them. Everybody wants Elise. Of course you do. He's one of the best players in the world. Is he going to leave Bayern Munich? I mean, if he is, you can't afford him. I'll tell you that for free. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's obviously, that thing. Lamine Yamal, no one in the world can sign him. So that one's already out of the window. Now we're looking at like, okay, can someone else maybe just, slot in positions, over there? Is it going to be like a Dembele, Doué type of situation where it's like they can float in between positions? And yeah, that I feel like that's what you're going to potentially have to do moving forward. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's that. It can't sign a Saka. Do you get that? It would be brilliant if Saka was available. But again, these clubs are already at the top clubs and they're already at clubs that they're probably not going to leave anytime soon. So we've just got to make do. The market is dead. We know it's dead. Just got to make do. We've just got to make do and just live with whatever those decisions are. So whether Liverpool go in, as an example, or Arsenal go in for a Bradley Barcola, cool. I like him. I think he's a really, really good player. I would love to sign him. But if not him, then just kind of sign anybody. Just kind of sign anybody, man. Just see how it kind of goes until these players become available, or potentially these players that you do sign gets better. There's nothing really that we can realistically do. But again, like I said, I'd love to know your thoughts in regards to, one, the winger market in general, but also if you've got a player in mind or players in mind, please let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to know what kind of players people are thinking of, and also why said player. I think I never really asked why enough, but why do you want to sign this player? Like, what's so good about him that makes you think, yeah, this player is of the level to join your football club, whatever club that might be, kind of thing. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, people, and I'll catch you guys real soon.